I'm going to open the floor to public comment. If you have a public comment, now is the time. I do.
Could you please state your name, please? Please state. David Snyder. David, could you spell your last name?
SNYDER.
Thank you, David.
The reason I'm here is briefly how I got to where I am right now. 4 years ago, I tried to find out what you think in line. My track that I live in right here is pretty good. All I got was a runaround. It was beauty and spray. Anyway, the more I lived, the more I felt that I was, for lack of a better word, I was being lied. So I started looking around to find out what was going on. And it's really cool, with the things that I saw, touching there, operating, so on and so forth. Anyway, so I looked into the history of this, and I talked to a gentleman here, your offices, who said this left, but he told me that you folks couldn't get the money from the county like CSA 63.5. But I started asking questions. It took me over a year to CSA was. But I got all kinds of rigmarole from the county. Anyway, so then he told me in the conversation that my track and two others were the only track. CSA 63.5. So I started looking around. You're absolutely right. There's now the fourth one is the new track that just went in by the first. Nobody on the east side of the freeway is a nickel. That's only cool for anything else. And so I took all my did a bunch of research, handed it to RMAC a year ago. He never. Anyway, that's back on track now. They're not questioning the county to find out why. That's and I for your staff reports, you guys talk about the very same thing. So, yeah, I understand. My focus is about the kids in this community. The rest of it is whatever it is. And so, because I feel the kids are being so short on what could be available. Anyway, so, one question I had is back in 98, put together a Rosemont Parks and Recreation District. I know that you guys started the process. There were problems. And it kind of went by the wayside. I know that the district spent a bunch of money on a consulting firm, which I read that 185 pages. And I'm asking, I've asked the county, nobody will answer me, so I'm going to ask you folks, is that still, I know you can't answer me tonight, I don't expect you to. Is that still a viable organization? In other words, limited, if it was voted on by the public, how can it not be available? My question.
One district give it back to the county. They didn't vote in the funds for it. That was the problem.
But that,
There was two things on the ballot. One was for us to take over the parks, and the other was for the money. And they voted for the district to take over the parks, but not the money.
okay, well, that's, but once again, I did the math, and I found a website that said there were like 6,000 single resident homes, residential homes in this area, the Rosemont area, greater Rosemont area, okay? I think $75 on that 63.5. Do the math, that's $5 million a year. And there's others that are paying $134 for their taxes. And if everybody was paying like they should, there would be more than enough money to operate and get something burning. I also understand that there was a 501c3 foundation together by Rosemont City Services.
Yes, there was.
To get grants, federal grants, state grants, all the rest of it. I'm just asking, why don't we move forward? Why don't, like I said, the county looking at this property tax thing, 3.5. I've also been told that Scrivener is interested in us having the new Rosemont, having a Parks and Rec district. And Laura Lynn Wyatt, who's his representative for Eastern County, told me the same thing. She's also said they've got the auditor's office in charge of putting this on the tax roll, them looking at why. something happen. It gets in this town, and that's one of the pool opens and get these perks fixed and expand what there is, and that's a first direction. Department or whatever, district, whatever you want. So I guess, but I don't understand is how the voters can vote on something, and I realize they didn't fund it, but how can it not be a viable organization and implement it now today?
Well, all I know is the district gave it back to them, didn't they? The county?
CSAs.
Isn't that what they did, John?
Yeah, the CSAs. We used to take care of the CSAs that he's talking about that he's being taxed on, and we no longer do that. We just turn back over to the county.
Yeah, we were in charge of the pool. When I was president, we was in charge of the pool. They give it back to the county. Thanks for that. Sure.
The other pool's included in the CSA.
Yes. And I guess the people in West Park, they don't have to pay to use the pool. Is that right?
I don't know how they're going to set it up now, but it was set up like this before. Yeah, you were paying on the tax roll. You didn't have to pay to get in. At one point, it was like that.
West Park pays more than anybody else. They pay $135.
Your contact information and some information, and try to get it out to you as best we can. For more the history of what happened and where we're at now.
It was a lot of history for everybody.
I'd like to see Parks Educate has one, I think.
I'm sorry, we're hearing you so loud, I can't hear what you're
I said I'd like to see if any Parks Department. I think Tehachapi's got one. I'm sure they have. Thank you for your comment. Let's move on to voluntary public roll call via teleconference. If there's anybody out there that wants to know that they're on the phone, now's the time to speak up.
Hi, Ben and Kim and members of the board. This is John Joyce reporting for the Roseman News.
Hi, John. Welcome.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Colin Snitchler representing Hydro Store.
Hi, Colin.
Colin, could you state your last again, please?
Yeah, my first name is Colin, last name is Snitchler.
Spell that for me.
Snitch, L-E-R. S-N-I-T-C-H-L-E-R.
Thank you, Colin.
No problem.
Next is consent calendar CC1. Review and receive check vouchers dated from February 28th through March 13th. Payroll date March 1st and payroll checks dated March 1st. Do I have a motion to approve CC1?
Motion to approve. Director Webb.
Motion by Director Webb. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Wallace. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. 5-0. Next, minutes. M1 and M2, sewer committee meeting and regular board meeting March 8th. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes M1 and M2? Have a motion to approve M1 and M2. Motion, Director Wallace.
Second. Second, Director Webb.
Second, Director Webb. Sorry. Motion, Director Washington. Second, Director Webb. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0. Presentation. Water reclamation plant project update. PR1.
Yeah. If Brian's not in and he didn't have an update.
Yeah, the only.
The weather.
Yeah, he's stuff for the weather. And then there's actually a little one update relative. He may have mentioned the Jib Crane issue. The district's going to fix that, take action to fix that Jib Crane. And that's probably going to come to you next board meeting. Future director reports, agenda items. Start with Director Washington. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Just want to remind the community to stay vigilant in relations to home emergencies. watching the recent weather events in the San Bernardino Mountains on the news, I was really surprised by the number of homes that caught fire due to gas leaks. I think it's a good idea to always have a wrench to close proximity to your gas valve. To shut it off quickly, you never know. Also, a T-wrench for shutting off water to home is an important item to have as well. John, I think you introduced me to that small T-wrench because the crescent wrench just won't do it. You can get a T-wrench for as little as $13, $15 at local hardware store. Lastly, I reached out to some Metropolitan folks, and they will be contacting you, Kim, to invite your key personnel to a tour of their pure water recycling plant in Carson, California. Thought it'd be a good idea to have your key folks go out, network, meet water personnel, and share some phone numbers and talk water. That's about all I have.
Yeah, I forgot about the conference you're going to Colorado River, right?
You're not going to let me.
No, I want to go on that Colorado River.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it happen. That's all I have.
I just missed one. Well,
Next, Director Wallace, do you have anything?
I don't have
Director Webb, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm still down here in the city. The pickets, the protest. So bear with me, please. But going back to what Director Washington had made mention of, this Saturday at Pierce College, they're having a disaster preparedness fair with different people out here, possibly, showing some of the hardware that Director Washington was talking about. And it's something I think that you can never have enough preparation for it. So it's put on by the Disaster Preparedness, I think it's the Southern California Disaster Preparedness Association. But it starts at 9 o'clock this Saturday at Pierce College in the San Fernando Valley. So if you folks are available in the community, or some of the directors, by all means, attend it. That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Webb. I guess I'm next. To be honest, I really don't have anything, but I would like to welcome our first public person back to our meeting. Senator, I definitely appreciate you coming in and making comments. This is public service. We're here to serve you guys. So coming in, speaking your mind, and giving us direction that you'd like to see our district going is greatly appreciated. Thank you for showing up. That's all I have. President Byron Glennon.
Yes, last week at the AVAC meeting, they announced a 30% allocation, but they expected before the week was over for it to be up to 60%. And it's not been there in a long, long time. So I think they're preparing to bank as much water as they can. And here today, the focus has been on risk management, and it's basically been trying to convince not individuals to be careful, but us to watch everybody else. And when we see somebody who is working beside us or with us and they're getting ready to make a mistake, for us to be courageous and correct them and warn them about the mistake they might be getting ready to make by skipping some safety procedure. And, of course, the less incidents we have, we save on our insurance. So that's important.
All right. Thank you, President Glenn, and we look forward to you being back for the next meeting. General Counsel John Comar, do you have an update?
Nothing to update you on today, folks.
Thank you, sir. General Manager Domingo.
I have a few things. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. On the Diamond Street property, after talking to the finance director, we are going to bring that back as a project and include it in the budget. My intent is to bring it to you in April as soon as I get more information from him as to where we're going to park that project, so that we can look at either demolishing it or fixing it up. On the 20th Street property, meeting tomorrow with a potential lessee. They're interested in a 3 to 5 year lease. I'm really going to go and talk to them about the existing condition of the property and some of the things that would have to be done to really get it to a point where they'd be able to use it. I reached out to the school district. Something that came up at the RMAC meeting was the connection between the high school and the district, and I've reached out to, yes, Barbara, thank you. Reached out to Barbara, left a message, so I'm waiting to touch bases and get caught up and try to figure out where we're at with that to see if it's something that we need to advance forward or something that they're waiting for. So it was unclear at the RMAC meeting what was going on with that, so I've reached out to her on that. On the training session, since Director Washington will be away on April 12th, tentatively scheduling that for April 26th instead, but it's going to be dependent on whether council will be available. He may not be available on that date. So right now we'll schedule for that date, and we'll see, John, if you're able to make that work, and if not, we'll bump it to the next meeting.
I appreciate that. Just for everybody's knowledge, I may have to be in trial in Bakersfield that day, so that would be the no-go situation.
Thanks. ACWA is using online voting for this year's officer election for the slate of the officers. Each member agency gets one vote, who's the GM by default, so I would do the voting unless you want to designate somebody else. So if the board would like to designate someone else to do that, I can bring that item to you. It doesn't have to be done until July, so if it's your pleasure to have someone else vote, that's fine. Or I can do the one vote that the district gets. We can leave it the way it is at default, if that's your pleasure. Update on the budget. We've started the budget process, and that is that Brad sent the kind of the preliminary numbers to everybody. We haven't really gotten together and start talking about it, but we need to get that done because we're trying to get that done or back to the board in the first week of May, the first meeting of May, because Brad's going to get married and he's going away, so it'd be nice if we can get that taken care of first board meeting in May. The Kern County Public Works Department is reconstructing and overlaying a stretch of Roseman Boulevard from Stevenson Street all the way to just past the northbound ramp on at Highway 14. Part of the project, we are responsible for lowering the valve cans and the manhole lids before construction and bringing them back up to grade after construction. The county expects for the project to be completed by the end of the calendar year, so that means they're going to start sometime in the middle of summer. So we have a very short window in which we can get them lowered and out of their way. Talked to John about this. This is something that we are not going to be able to do in-house in that quick a time. So we're going to have a contractor do it for the district. So we need to establish a project in the budget and then prepare a bid package for the work to be performed. So that'll be coming to you probably this first meeting in April. Then lastly, I'm on jury duty the week of April 17th, unless something comes up and I need to push it off. So it's better to just get it out of the way than to extend it. I've noticed that if you extend it or ask for an extension, you move up, your panel number gets lower and lower. So I've been fortunate the last two times I've served, I haven't had to serve cuts to half a day. So I'm hoping that'll be the case again. That's all I have, Mr. Vice President.
This is Byron. Let me say something I forgot to say. I was assigned to say hello to Sherry and Kim. David Arand, I guess, talked to yesterday on the phone anyway. But he said to be sure. He said be sure and say hello to you guys. And he's sorry you weren't able to make it, Sherry.
Ah, I didn't know he was there.
I have a question, I guess for you, John, on the Roseman repaving project. gonna have to lower the manholes and cans and raise them as well. Why do we have to lower them? Why can't they be in place when they do the project and then we raise them after? So we talked to the county about that. We lower them beforehand and then have them raised by the contractor. We can certainly look at doing that. And the county's going to get us their winning bidder as soon as possible, so we can. But what we want to do, or what we're going to do, is bid it out, the raising and the lowering, and then the raising. And we can do the raising. We can do it as an alternate, and then we can compare pricing. That's one way we can do it too. How many manholes are we speaking of? Gosh, do you guys know?
Yeah, I don't have
about 8.
There's 32 valve cams, and I can't remember the number of manholes. Less manholes, but there's 32 valve cams. I haven't written down that back. I should have brought it with me. I'm sorry.
Okay. You guys lower them, put a grade plate, and then they grind, and then bring it back up to the new grade. Yep. Okay. And then we go back in and cut them out, and put a new collar on them. Yeah, we lower them so that their grinder doesn't hit them and they lose these $500 teeth that adds up pretty quick. Things get hit. One other thing, just want to take a moment to thank you, Kim, for going out and being the guest speaker at the RMAC meeting and reaching out to the community, getting to know some of the folks out and sharing your vision with them. I think it went really well. It was nice to see some support there from our CSD as well. So just want to thank you for that. Really appreciate it. It was my pleasure, and I really appreciated the support that was there by both the directors and the staff. And thanks to Tom for helping with the presentation. That was great. Okay, moving along. Director of Administration, Sherry.
Yeah, we are moving right along with the late season shutoff. So we'll be returning, and May 1st is our target date. We're working with the Access to get our messaging out. We're going to be doing information on the newsletter, a web banner. So you'll be seeing that really soon, like next week, just to notify people. We're still doing our customer care calls, reaching out to customers that are delinquent, having a good response with that. Spreading the message about our payment arrangements that we have available. We've done a couple of those already. So we're encouraged with the response that we're getting from the calls that we're making, that people are receptive to making payments. The details that the action will happen next month, and the 1st of May, we're going to be good to go.
Okay. Public Works, John, there's a couple questions here.
The board packet is a new thing that we're going to be starting, and it's all the projects that were from the last board meeting.
Actually, I didn't provide it to him, John. Sorry.
Okay. No. Well, this was produced by the Public Works Forum. We will include locations and footage, the reasons why, and history on these such items. So, since the last meeting, the footage cleaned with 2,265 feet of sewer line that was cleaned. We had 0 SSOs. Had 12 manhole inspections, 0 repairs on the sewer, 0 calls from customers, as far as call outs, I believe, what he's referring to. We did have our log inspection. I don't know if anybody's been contacted, any of your friends that have businesses, but the log inspector came out and did 70 full inspections on the local businesses, the restaurants, and industrial waste users. Out of those inspections, 46 of them were industrial, 24 of them were fog, and there was 1 temporary close and 1 non-inspection that was conducted. After all of the inspections, there was found 11 facilities out of compliance with the fog program. So they were given documentation on how to fix their problems and given a timeline when to fix them.
you, John. Anybody have a question for John? Or leave it up? Okay. That's it. Can I get movement for adjournment?
I make a motion for adjournment.
Motion, Director Washington. Second, Director Wallace. Adjournment at 6:26 p.m. Oh, I do. All in favor? Sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Adjournment 6:26 p.m. Thank you.